Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at some more Twilight Cup test battles, but before we get started here, let's go ahead and see a new feature that is going to be coming to Pokemon Go very soon. A lot of you wanted the ability to take pictures of the Pokemon that you currently have, and well, you're going to be getting that very soon. Now, when is this going to be released? There is no time frame, but they did announce it, so you can expect it fairly soon. Features: take an AR photo of any Pokemon you have in your Pokemon storage. So that's pretty neat. You're going to be able to take pictures of Pokemon you've never been able to take of before, possibly baby Pokemon, or I don't know, any other types that you can't really find in the wild, such as Metagross and stuff like that, unless you were at Go Fest or if you did a Metagross raid, right? You get the picture. Find the ideal photo location and tap and throw the Pokeball to the spot where you want the Pokemon to be. So basically, you're just going to pick a spot there, tap on the screen, at the exact spot you want it to be. The Pokeball will fly into that area, and then there you go. You'll be able to walk around it. Once your Pokemon is in position, move around to get the best angle. So there you have that. Brush across your Pokemon to attract its attention for the best shot. So you'll be able to make it do some sort of cute little movement or whatever, and you can get that nice shot you're looking for. Take as many photos as you like. You can save them and share them to social media. So pretty neat little feature coming to the future of Pokemon Go for the people who like to take these AR shots. Personally, for me, my camera is broken, so I could take them, but they're going to look absolutely horrible. Plus, that's just not my style. I'm, more of the battle and, Stardust investing type. Anyways, so there you have the new feature coming to Pokemon Go fairly soon. Alright, so first one up here is going to be a mirror match with Clefables. Mine's going to have Charge Beam and his is going to have Legacy Pound. And that is something you don't necessarily want to always TM, those legacy moves. But if it's your only good one, then you may, I don't know, I'm not going to say want to consider it, but just food for thought here. So yes, we already know that Dazzling Gleam is going to charge a lot quicker with that Charge Beam. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was able to almost get off a secondary one before Pound was able to even reach its first charge. So that is just, gives you a little bit of an idea that your quick moves are going to be very key going into tournaments or PvP for that matter. All right, now let's go ahead and go into our first match. We're starting it off with Toxiccroak, and he's going in with the Beedrill. Something you may not see too often is going to be that Beedrill, and it can put in work, as you're going to see here. So Aerial Ace will be super effective. It is able to reach that fairly quick. I'm going to go ahead and switch and hold on to my charge and energy for whenever I need it later. And it's still doing quite a bit of damage, that Beedrill, to my Drapion. We're going to go ahead and do that Aqua Tail for neutral damage, and he burned his shield. I'm going to go ahead and let him take me out at this point. There's no point in saving it. I'm going to go ahead and bring out my Toxiccroak and slam him with the Sludge Bomb right away, doing a decent amount of damage. Not very effective, but still taking off a good amount of its health because it doesn't have that much defense. And then he's bringing in the Alolan Ninetales. I'm going to go ahead and hit up that Sludge Bomb. Not too sure why the shield didn't change to red, because that is going to be super effective going against that Alolan Ninetales being part fairy. Bringing in the Dustox, guys. Let's go and see what we have here. Taking those Powdered Snows fairly well. Alright, and the Sludge Bomb will be super effective, finishing off that Alolan Ninetales. Bringing in the Crobat. Now, my Silver Wind will be super effective. Let's go ahead and see how much damage that's going to do. And almost wiping it out in one hit. That's quite incredible. And how do I like the Dustox? It's holding up well, and I'm happy I invested in it. Like I said before, I want to try and actually win using Pokemon that people are not considering or thinking, oh, well, there's something else better that you can use, right? It's just becoming so stale, picking the same Pokemon over and over again. Anyways, Alolan Monk going up against that Beedrill there, and the Beedrill does have Bug Bite, so it is doing a decent amount of damage for neutral hitting, and then it's going to hit me up with that X-Scissor. And I'm just deciding what I want to bring out. We're going to go ahead and go with Clefable. So Charge Beam Meteor Mash Clefable is extremely good. Something I think is a bit undermined and underused as well, which is perfectly fine. Please don't use it if you don't want to. Alright, but yeah, Meteor Mash hits hard. Even if it's not very effective, it's still doing a lot of damage. Not to mention, it doesn't take too long to charge. So something you're going to see in this tournament quite often is, of course, that Venomoth. Let's go ahead and see Meteor Mash and how strong it is going to be. Taking it out in almost one hit. Isn't that incredible? Of course, I will be weak to poison types if you do have that legacy on Venomoth. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Skunk Tank, and if you're wondering why do I have Flamethrower and not Crunch, it's kind of a hard decision, guys. It's really preference and coverage that I think I need to have out there. You could say, well, Crunch is going to be doing just as much damage to a lot of things. Well, if I'm going up against another Dark-type Pokemon, Flamethrower is going to be more ideal because, well, Dark resists Dark types, right? Alright, so for this next battle, we have Drapion versus Seviper here. Seviper is going to be his test run Pokemon. It's not like official or anything. It is not horrible, right? I mean, I personally used it going up against other trainers, and it did okay. Anyways, we're going to continue to get these Aqua Tails. And do you want Infestation or do you want Bite on your Drapion? Well, the Infestation is going to help you get those charge moves off fairly quick. But Bite does not have much energy gain. But on the flip, it does a ton of damage. Alright, so we have the Alolan Raticate out here versus the Houndoom. His Houndoom has been giving me quite a bit of trouble, as a matter of fact. And that Bug Bite's going to be doing a lot of damage to my Alolan Raticate because it's going to be Dark type. Bug moves are going to be super effective to it. Going to hit it up with Hyper Fang, doing a lot of damage. Raticate is fairly good because it is almost maxed out for the league. It can take hits quite well and dish out a good amount of damage. It's not going to be your best option out there, but it's not horrible either. It could almost help you get out of a jam. So that Houndoom yet again coming in to give me some trouble. Going to get off that silver one to see what we can do, and finishing it off, luckily, thanks to that Dustox being nice and tanky, taking those fire type hits there. Alright, so moving on to the next one, we have Alolan Ninetales, and now he's using the Alolan Raticate. So let's see what we have going on here. I will be able to do Dazzling Gleam, but he is switching right away, and I was making my decision here. We're going to go ahead and go with the Alolan Raticate now. It is reversed, so Dazzling Gleam hitting me hard. I didn't think he was going to have that so quick. I thought he was going to go for Psyshock, but yeah, I should have really blocked that, right? Now we have my Alolan Ninetales out here, not in a great position because my moves are not going to be doing that much. Although if I did hit it with Dazzling Gleam, it would do quite a bit of damage, as we will see here. Nope, never mind. He blocks that. So Psyshock is up, but you don't want to do that going up against another Ninetales for sure. Doing that Dazzling Gleam, taking a bit more energy and time out there. Now he's bringing out the Houndoom. I'm in a bad position. He switches right away because he knows he needs to save that Houndoom for my Alolan Ninetales. And that Crunch doing a pretty good amount of damage. Now it will be getting off Silver Wind, super effective to the Alolan Raticate, being that Dark type. Don't know why the shield didn't turn red yet again. I will be blocking this to keep my Dustox in there as long as possible with that energy up for the Silver Wind already. And hitting it up, doing a good amount of damage, but it's just not enough. That Alolan Raticate is going to take me out with the quick move, bringing in the Alolan Ninetales, and at this point I lost, right? And down goes the Alolan Raticate, or wait, he switched. Okay, Psyshock not doing much, and down goes my Alolan Ninetales. And that's a good game. So what do I think about the Alolan Ninetales all in all with these test battles? It's good. It's good, guys. If you want to use it, go for it. It's not a bad option. Now we have Mr. Mime, something that you don't really see too often. He's retreating that. I'm going to go ahead and do that Crunch here, doing neutral damage and a fairly good amount. We already have a next Crunch up, looking great. And he does block that. The shield just didn't show up. And I will be blocking this just because I'm in a good position here. And I know I can get off my next charge move before him, possibly. But he does retreat, and I already had my finger on the Crunch. Otherwise, you should be going for that Hyper Fang, because Dark to Dark, not very effective, right? That's why you need to look out for your Umbreons when you're in a jam up against another Dark type. Having that Community Day move may just help you out. Bringing in the Alolan Marowak. Now, if that Houndoom did have Bite, or anything else did have Bite going up against the Alolan Marowak, it would completely wreck it. And the Alolan Marowak does have that nice ground move, making it very viable for this tournament. Now we have the Mr. Mime out here, and we have no more shields. Let's see what happens. Psybeam takes me out, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and bring my Alolan Ninetales and just finish it off with Powdered Snow, and that is a good game there. So do I want to put Ninetales on my team? Considering it, but I'm not too sure 100% yet. Now we have the Grimer. As you can see, this is just a joke. Not necessarily a joke, but complete tests runs here. You can find some usability like we went over before for it, but you really have to have literally the perfect matchup. Otherwise, you're going to be bad. You're going to be in a bad spot, right? I am burning off that first shield and then just taking the hit here. And now I'm deciding what I want to bring in. Going to go ahead and go with that Alolan Raticate. It does currently have Quick Attack, which will be getting stab and charging your charge moves fairly quick. I'm still deciding on all of the moves that I want on my Pokemon as far as the quick moves go. So we're going to go ahead and do Hyper Fang onto that Crobat because it is going to be a Dark type. It will take reduced damage from Dark moves, and it did do a lot of damage. We have another Crunch ready to go, which is going to be super effective to that Haunter, and down it goes. So another good game there. So the Alolan Raticate is shaping up to be okay. And we got a Sinnoh Stone. Nice. So I have quite a few of those stacked up as well. Now, Honchkrow. Something you want to use. I was highly considering it. After doing several tests, I decided, nope, definitely don't want it. It can't take hits. It simply cannot take hits. Now, I didn't use my charge move. I wanted to save it for the next thing to burn off his shield, of course. It will be good to go up against Venomoth here, for instance, but it's almost like, I don't want to say a Melmetal situation like the Boulder Cup, because there is going to be other Pokemon it will be good going up against for sure, like Dark types that don't have coverage, but it's just falling too quick, guys, and the charge moves don't go up as fast as they want them to. Alright, so we have the Alolan Raticate out here taking the shield up here, and then we're just going to go ahead and do that crunch, doing quite a bit of damage, but it's pretty much out, so there we go. And going to bring in my last Pokemon here. Not looking great because it does have Waterfall. I was trying to get that Shadow Ball off here, and let's go ahead and see. It's not going to be very effective, but it's doing a lot more damage than that Bone Club there, and he does finish me off, and that is going to be a good game there. So Crobat is another decent Pokemon, but you need to look out as well because you can get walled by like Azumarill or Quillfish or things like that. Now, starting off the next match, I have the Toxiccroak. He's bringing in the Venomoth. You need to switch out your Toxiccroaks immediately when those situations happen. It just simply can't take the hits, and it's not worth getting energy. Retreat immediately. So we're going to go ahead and hit up that Psyshock. Super effective, but he is using the shield here, and we're going to let him hit us with Poison Fang. It doesn't, it does a decent amount of damage, but enough for me to be comfortable to continue on without using the shield in that situation with that much health, and just exchanging charge moves here and shields. The Alolan Ninetales hanging on by a thread, able to get off another Psyshock onto that Venomoth, which is great. We both have no more shields here. I do have a Sludge Bomb saved up on my Toxiccroak. We're going to go ahead and hit that up immediately, doing about half health. And it's going to do a decent amount of damage to me with that Bug Bite, and finishing me off with the Aerial Ace. Super effective, of course. In comes the Raticate here, and he was able to get off another charge move, unfortunately, so it's not looking great for me here. I'm going to go ahead and hit it up with Crunch and see what we can do for the last Pokemon. Crobat, can I get my charge move? Let's go, Crunch. And I take the win with the Alolan Raticate. Then that is good games. So I hope you all enjoyed these Twilight test battles. If you did, please give it a like because they have been on the lower end. So would really appreciate it if you smash that like for me, guys. With that said, trainers, thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time.